can hear me. Turn on the music. Hello, and welcome back to the Spoilercast, the show where we talk about movies, new and old, and we don't care about spoiling them because that's the whole thing. It's a Spoilercast. Exactly. I am Tobias, the owner and founder of Please Don't Make a Scene and this podcast, the Spoilercast. And with me, as always, is my sister and trusty co-host Rebecka. Say hello to the chat. Right. Well, yeah. Technically, we have. Yes. And if you're listening to this, if you're not watching this live on YouTube, you are listening to this on Spotify or iTunes or iHeartRadio or whatever, you know. You can check us out every Thursday like this, 6:30 p.m. Swedish time, whatever that is. Yes, I think that's right. Yes, 1 hour after Universal Central Time, UTC, whatever that is. Anyway. No, UTC is Universal Time. Anyway. Yes, either way, you can listen to us on all the preferred podcast platforms. So check us out there as well. Don't forget to support the show here on YouTube. You hit the subscribe button and the little bell thing. So you're always updated when we do other podcasts, live streams, videos, stuff like that. Or, you follow on Spotify, give us 5 stars on iTunes and all that stuff. And, of course, if you really want to support the show, be sure to check us out on Patreon, where you get exclusive videos, exclusive episodes of the podcast, and in the future, you're going to get all the videos I put out on YouTube at least one week ahead of time. For as little as $3 a month. But if you're just here to listen to us and join the show or comment or whatever, that's great as well. So I hope you have a good one. And this episode is going to be a little different. We didn't have time to discuss this before, but since this was your choice of movie, Rebecka, or your choice of fucking trilogy to watch in 1 week, thank you so much. I think you're gonna have to take the reins on this episode. Exactly. I hadn't seen any of them before. I had only read the first book. Well, we haven't said what we're watching yet, or what we watched. I mean, it's all over it's in the title. It's the Maze. Yes. Yes. Yes, you do. Well, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I kind of liked the first one. It was I don't remember much about the book other than the beginning, or like the first half, I suppose. I don't remember much of the actual maze running. I remember all the stuff with the glade and the monsters, and I thought that was pretty spot on from the book. Pretty spot on. But I mean, not a lot happens. No. Oh wait. No. Yes. Well, this is. Don't worry, folks. This will all be cut out from the podcast version. We can't hear you, Rebecka. That's weird. Hold on. Let me fix that. Yes. Why did it have to fuck up now? That's weird. Now?
Is anyone else not hearing me? Because I can only see one person commenting that.
Nah, some people. But now it should be fixed now. Yes, I couldn't. Well, I could hear you, but I couldn't hear you through the program. But now I can.
The program didn't. Okay.
Yes, there we are.
So,
Sorry about that. I'll quickly recap. Rebecka's gonna take the reins on this episode because she thought it would be appropriate to make me watch 3 movies in 1 week that starts out at 2 hours, then just gets longer. And this was decided Monday. It was decided Monday. And it was the Maze Runner movies. I watched them, and since Rebecka chose these, she's gonna take the reins of the episode. And she just asked me what I thought about the movie.
Yeah, I'm just like, tell me very shortly. What did you think of them? Were they good?
Yes. And like I said about the first one, it was fine. It kind of had a non-ending because it's the first part of a trilogy. But I mean, I still think every movie should have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And this was just the beginning of a story, which was annoying.
Ah.
I get it. And then the second one, I really liked the second one at first.
Okay.
And then when they escaped what we find out is the wicked plant or whatever you want to call it.
Compound? I don't know what.
Compound,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not sure what it is, to be honest.
Just becomes fucking boring and stupid and a typical generic young adult movie. And then the third the third one starts with action, which none of the others do, which I liked. It was like, oh, okay, we're off to the races right away, which I liked. But there were a bunch of stuff in that action scene that I really, really, really didn't like. Stupid little nitpicks, of course, nitpicks. It's really cool. It's a train heist, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the first big action set piece of Fast Five. You know,
yes.
When they steal the cars.
When they steal the
train.
cars, yeah.
So that's that was okay. But then I thought that movie, it kind of meandered back and forth between being like, oh, it's pretty good, and just stupid. I mean, I get it. It's written for teenagers, but it's just so stupid. And and then, I guess we'll get to that, but the ending, it's just like, hold on, people. You're kind of forgetting about the rest of the fucking world. We'll get to.
I think the entire movie series is a kind of forgetting about the rest of the world.
Yeah. So okay, you are, from what I understand, a fan of this. So I don't want to crap all over it too much.
I a fan-ish. I was definitely when I read the books at first.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I haven't watched the movies in a while, and I started trying to reread the books, and it's going very slowly.
Yeah. I don't.
Maybe I'm too old to have the same interest now, I guess.
Yeah, I don't remember. We talked about this briefly. I don't remember what the language was, what the prose was in Maze Runner, but in Hunger Games, it's definitely written for 12-year-olds. I don't know. Does the language feel like that in Maze Runner as well? I don't remember.
Sort of, a little bit more mature, I think, but still, it's made for like 15-year-olds ish.
Yeah, okay. But what did you think of? What did you think of the movies? Now, well, no, wait. Let me ask you. We're switching up here a little bit. What did you think of the movies the first time you saw them?
The first time I was like fangirling almost.
Okay. Were you like going to the midnight premieres? I don't remember if you did.
No, I don't think I did. I didn't even know if these had midnight premieres in Sweden.
No, maybe not.
Actually, I think I saw the second. No, one of them I saw when I was living in England. So.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So that wasn't either a midnight premiere though. That was a regular premiere.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But you liked them.
I liked them. Yeah. I mean, sure, I had some issues with it, and I think if you want to be nitpicking, they're not fully following the books as well as they could.
Okay.
They switch up some things that, of course, make more sense in a movie, but from the book's point of view, it doesn't make sense at all.
Okay.
Because like they change it too much. But seeing it now, an adult, a few years later, you kind of accept the fact that yeah, you have to do it this way. You can't add another like place. Because I remember, well, the Spoilercast, so I'm gonna spoil the ending now.
Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about the ending.
Well, part of the ending.
Yeah.
I remember vaguely that Newt, he does become infected in the books as well.
Yeah.
But I want to say that he ends up like they leave him in this weird like arena deathmatch place in the middle of the desert instead of having him in the city. Okay. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's something like that. So
you don't get the struggle between him and Thomas and the oh no, get up, dude, get up.
With someone else.
Oh, okay. Okay, so they kind of streamlined it. Maybe like
yeah, they had to
because
I mean
group of characters and stuff.
it's already, like you said, it's already like 2 hours long. If you're gonna add
Yeah.
that sequence that in the book takes place over like a while at least,
Yeah.
it's a day at least, like in time, would have added too much time to the movie, would have made it too long.
Yeah, but that's every
Yeah,
book
more or less.
adaptation. It's like oh, I remember like the Lord of the Rings. People were like annoyed that it wasn't as faithful as it should have been. Like even
Yeah,
if
but have you
like
seen the extended cuts? They're 3 hours long each. No,
yeah
4 hours long each.
and yeah, like if they wanted the entire like meeting at Rivendell, if you wanted to film all of that, it would be like an extra 2 hours or something. You know, you have to streamline stuff when you're making a movie. That's just the way it is.
Yes.
Books probably make better like miniseries or even like full series.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But they don't make enough money to be profitable in that way, I'm
Well,
guessing.
Well, they could do that nowadays.
Well, nowadays,
when
yeah, but not
everyone's
when
home.
these came out. I mean, the last one came out in 2018, so
Yeah.
by
That's
then,
only
sure, could have, but when the first one came out in 2014, no,
no
that
2014.
wouldn't. Yeah,
When did the first one come out?
yeah, 2014. The first
Oh, okay. I thought you said this the second one. When did the second one come out? 2016.
one. 15.
15.
They were actually
Okay.
kind of quick there.
Oh, so they waited a while with the third
I
one.
do believe though, because the first and the second one literally start and end with each other. Like, there's not like even a second in between them. So they kind of, I think they filmed them in one set
Oh,
kind of
okay.
thing. But then the third one takes place a few months later, and so they could take a break and people could let their hair grow out and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But what did you think of them? Now.
I still like them. I still prefer them over other young adult novels that they've made films out of. Because first of all, they didn't cut the third one in half and made 2 movies.
Yeah. No.
That's a big plus, actually.
That's probably because these weren't as profitable. So we're like, let's just get it out.
Probably. But it made more sense because also this one wouldn't have been like how? Where would you cut? Where would you make 2 more hours?
Maybe when the rebels, whatever you want to call them, attack the city.
You're gonna make the entire last movie just be the war.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
war
like
in
in
quotations.
every other movie franchise nowadays.
See, that's
Last
why I
one
like
is
that this one
war.
made it still is the last movie is war, but you know,
Yes.
it's less and it's not as following the same pattern as every single other young adult more than one movie series.
Sure. But that's one. Most of my nitpicks are with the third movie because it's so dumb. It's I'm not gonna say it's like the dumbest movie I've ever seen, but it's. I was constantly because I was watching it today. I watched the first and second yesterday. And I was constantly going, what?
Yeah.
Why? But why? What? Constantly, like for one big thing, like what is the point of having the citizens or the rebels attacking the city that late in the story? Why add the character of what is his name, Lawrence, played by that? Oh, I love that guy. What is his name? I don't remember.
You mean the guy with the messed up face?
Yeah, he's missing a nose, and he has like tree stuff growing out of his head.
Crank. That's what they call them, right? The zombie-like thingy.
Yeah, and he says, "Oh, they call us cranks, but no, they don't. You're humans."
Well, he's sort of a crank, but he's got the serum, so he stopped the process.
Yeah, that's another thing. But like why add those characters? They don't bring anything to the story other than, oh, now it's harder to get out of the city because everyone's shooting at each other.
Yeah.
The only thing I guess they added that you bring back Gally, Will Poulter's character, which was good, because that's one thing. Both in the first and third movie where he's acting circles around all the other teenage or like young actors. Will Poulter is so goddamn good, even in a movie like this.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can tell that a lot of the actors don't they haven't done, not the young actors at least, they haven't done a
Yeah.
lot before. I mean, Thomas Brody Sangster, yeah, he's been acting since he was a kid.
Who's that?
The Newt.
Oh, Newt. Yeah, I recognize him.
I mean, he's from Love
I've seen-
Actually and stuff.
yes,
He's been doing
I've seen
things
him in
since he
stuff.
was tiny.
Yeah, and of course, what's his name? Dylan O'Brien. I've seen in stuff.
Yeah, but he didn't do too much before this either. I
He
mean,
did
he's
Teen
done a
Wolf,
few.
right?
Yeah,
And
Teen Wolf is his big thing.
what's it called? Interns, the Google movie, right?
Wasn't that after this though?
No, I think it technically came out 2013. Maybe yeah, maybe it was after
No, actually, yeah,
wait.
you're true. You're right. 2013.
2013. Yeah, 2013. Right.
But he did literally 1, 2, 3 movies before the Maze Runner.
Yeah. Yeah, so he was hot stuff because of Teen Wolf. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I recognize the girl who plays Deborah, but I'm not sure from what. She
Deborah?
Isn't her
Who's
name?
Deborah? You mean
Deborah?
Teresa?
No, not Teresa. The girl from the right arm. The
Oh.
freedom fighter group. Isn't her name Deborah?
Deborah? No, there's no Brenda.
Brenda, sorry.
Yeah, but isn't she Alita Battle Angel?
I was thinking it too. Is that her? Because I
Yeah,
thought
it is.
it
Yeah,
is.
it is.
Okay, I got this weird thing in my head that Alita Battle Angel was like a new actress. But she okay.
Well,
That's why I recognized her. Okay, she was fucking Alita Battle Angel.
Yeah.
And then of course the older actors you recognize.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of
Yeah.
recognizable people in that cast.
Barry Pepper and what's his name from Breaking Bad.
Oh,
I want to say Gustavo Fring, but that's his character. What's his name?
I don't remember. I don't remember, to be honest.
Juan Esposito something. What the hell is his name? You see, this is stuff. This is the stuff we cut out of the proper MP3 Spotify version. Just so you know.
Yeah, so if you don't want to hear us like stumble and get lost,
Isn't it Giancarlo Esposito?
I have no idea who you're talking about. What character does he play?
Giancarlo Esposito. He's Brenda's the dude.
Oh, okay.
You watched the movies just today. He was in the movie.
Yeah, but doesn't mean I know the actor.
No, but the guy. There's like 3 older characters you have to know about.
Yeah, I guess.
Whatever. Anyway.
In which movie though? There's 3.
I guess. So him. Jorge. Yeah. And then so that whole thing felt like, oh, this is the last movie in a trilogy, so we need a war. Because every other trilogy in the last 15 years have had a war in the end. I made a video about that some time ago. I don't remember what it's called.
There is a point to it, though. They do like mention it in the end of the first movie, sort of, because you have the Resistance.
Yeah, but the Resistance is the Right Arm. The group
Yes.
called the Right Arm, and they're like eviscerated in the end of the second movie when
True.
Teresa rats them out.
But
then there's
the
another group in
underground-
the town.
But there's always gonna be. If there's one rebel group, there's always gonna be another.
Yeah, but it just
'Cause,
came.
you gotta go against the elites and the.
Yeah,
I
but
was like patriarchy, but I'm not sure that's the right word here.
then that should have been the Right Arm. Now with Thomas and the other ones arriving
Yeah,
in
it
the
should have
city and
been-
uniting the people, and then they would go instead of having another group just attacking.
It should have been a part of the Right Arm at least,
Yes.
in some way.
And then, the big thing is that the whole cure and serum and because they have a serum,
Yes,
and that is what they're extracting from the young people.
the kids. Yes.
But they're also looking for a cure that will permanently cure you.
They're using the serum to try and make a cure. Because the serum is something they extract from the kids, sort of based on adrenaline, it seems like.
Yeah, that's never really... Because I was watching the...
They don't explain it too well. I don't
No.
remember them explaining it too well in the books either, to be honest.
Yeah, no, yeah, because I remember you kind of explaining it before we watched the movies. That there's like, yeah, there's a plague going around, and people are immune. Some people are immune to it, mostly young people, or
Yeah,
only young people, I think.
only young people.
And they're placed in mazes to see who will survive,
It has
which
to
I
do
never
with
really
some sort
understood
of
why.
no.
Now
It
that I
has to do
rewatched
with
them, or when I watched them, I was like,
they're trying to sort of extract the serum out of them. Again, it's like they're collecting adrenaline juice or something from the
yeah,
humans,
yeah, sure, sure,
which
sure,
doesn't,
that's
which
fine.
medically doesn't make sense, but like it's a TV thing, so
No, but
fine.
it works. You can
I guess it's the
extract.
hormone.
Yes, you can extract like pure adrenaline from a person. It is a chemical, so
Yeah, but it doesn't come out blue.
no. But they add stuff.
I don't think so, at least.
No, it's not.
And somehow, yeah, because the story goes that I don't remember when, but a few years ago, before the first movie starts, the sun has a sun flare that hits the earth and
Yeah,
kills a lot of people, and
the scourge.
the one who survives gets sick from it, from the radiation. But then when younger people are born, they are born with immunity, but not all of them. So they need to like round up kids to try and find which ones are immune by seeing, I guess, how they react. For some reason shows if they're immune or not.
Yeah,
But it's not foolproof, obviously, because Newt seems to be doing fine, but he's not immune. So
yeah. He's fine until like 6 months into the story.
yeah, sort of.
But
When
that could be because they do mention that towards the end the virus is airborne, so maybe he's catching it that way.
no, he gets it when they fight Cranks sometime.
Oh, okay. I don't remember.
They don't
anything
actually
different.
show it, which is weird.
No, he's just sick all of a sudden.
He's very good at hiding it.
Yeah,
I think that's the point. You're not supposed to notice it because it doesn't affect the other characters.
Look,
so it shouldn't affect you.
We didn't film it, so we'll just say he hid
Yeah,
it very
sort of.
well.
Sort of. It seems like it.
Yeah. Okay.
But then obviously they don't experiment enough with the ones they know are immune because they only think of the serum. They don't think of the blood, which just is stupid in my opinion.
Yeah, but isn't the blood part of the serum as well?
No.
Oh.
The only person who thinks about using the blood is the right arms doctor, that lady. I don't remember the name of her.
Mary.
Yeah, who's literally in like 2 scenes.
Yeah, she's a sort of a big actress. She's from the first.
Yeah, she is.
She's from what's it called? The Haunting.
It's Lily Taylor.
Lily Taylor, The Haunting, High Fidelity,
Conjuring,
The Conjuring, a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean she's been doing movies since like
the 80s.
80s, yeah.
Isn't she in Mystic Pizza? I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah,
she's
she is.
JoJo
Okay.
in Mystic Pizza.
Okay.
But she's also been she worked with Wicked before.
Yeah, and
she
talks
was
to
the one who
the
wanted
Ava
to. Yeah, she wanted to continue the experimentation with the blood instead of the serum because extracting the serum is so painful.
Yeah.
Because you have to literally like scare it out of them.
Okay, so that's so poorly explained in the movies though, because she's literally like the one scene she has with the meanie lady Ava. She's like, there is another way, and she's like, I don't care, and then they blow each other up. I'm like, what is the other way? You didn't tell us.
They show it very briefly, but if you don't know what you're looking for, you're not gonna notice it because you can see when she's taking care of Brenda in the tent.
Yeah,
she takes blood from Thomas.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Something syringe and then puts it in Brenda.
I thought she just gave her the serum.
If you're not looking, you're not gonna notice it. That's stupid. I know they should have fleshed that out much more compared to what they did flesh out.
Yeah, and then also, like, this plague has been going on for like at least
3 or 4 years.
At least.
Yeah. And probably a few years before that as well, to be honest.
And they had Thomas, the one person with the cure in his blood.
That they know of.
That they know of, yeah, sure, that they know of. They had him working in the facility for God knows how long before, and you know,
He was in the facility from when he was like 6 or 7, because you
yeah,
see that flashback scene when he's
yeah, exactly.
unconscious.
So
He was given up when he was like 6 or 7,
they
and they've been
must
testing him
they must
since.
have been testing him. How in all those years? How did they never check the blood when it
That's what I'm
comes
saying.
to a virus? It's a virus, right? Or is it a
Yeah,
bacteria?
it is. No, they call it a virus.
Yeah, which is transferred via bites, among other things.
And
What?
scratches.
What? Yeah, that goes into the bloodstream.
Yeah.
Why did they never look at the blood?
Yeah, I don't remember if they explained that in the books, but I don't think
Yeah,
they do, to be
they
honest.
don't do it in the movies, which
No.
annoyed the hell out of me.
Yeah. That is the one thing I feel is there's two things I feel are really stupid in this movie series. First one is this, that they don't, they like, who didn't think of checking the bloods? Maybe, okay, maybe it's something that comes with time, sort of. Maybe it doesn't show when he was 6
Sure.
or something, but like, test it once a year. He's been working with you for so many years. Because
Yeah.
they don't know how old he is. He says that he's like 17 in the books. He feels 17, I think.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, Teresa in the end of the third one, she's working as a doctor for
Yeah.
Wicked.
And yeah, you're not going to
Like,
be like a 21-year-old doctor. She
no.
must be older.
She
Or maybe
must
they're
be.
just
Maybe.
desperate. I don't know. That's also a weird thing in these YA
Yeah.
movies. Like all the teenagers having like senior roles and being the leaders. I'm like, why? Where are all the grown-ups in these
Where are all the
movies?
adults?
Where are all the adults? Except for the one evil adult and then one old guy who joins the rebels or whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, because that's really stupid, especially in these three, because they start off being like kids in a maze.
yeah,
And then, of course, in the second one, they have to kind of man up and become sort of adult, take care of themselves. But then they meet the right arm and they have Jorge and Mary and people who can take care of them. So they
yeah.
should like relax. But no, in the third one, Teresa has a job as like the lead professor in this facility trying to find the cure.
Yeah, so she must be
She
older.
must be a few years older. I don't remember if they mentioned that in the books either, to be honest.
Yeah. Anyway.
But Thomas is barely 20. And
Yeah,
I mean, some of the kids are literally like 13. Like Chuck in the beginning, he's not older than like
12.
13. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know Dylan O'Brien was 19 when he made the first movie. I think he's born in maybe 91. Whatever. He's like in his
He's
early,
born in
early
91.
20s. Right, 91. So he was in his early 20s.
Yeah.
So
Still.
he'll pass for a teenager, but it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not old enough to be a doctor.
No.
You're barely
And
out
they
of medical
worked.
school.
That's the thing as well, because Thomas and Teresa, before they entered the maze, they were working.
They were
with
researchers.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, what? I don't know. It's a bit weird, but I guess it's a weird circumstance as well, because I mean, they've been living in the compound for as long as they can remember, more or less.
It is strange. And then,
but the second thing I hate the most, is the very unnecessary, not really fleshed out, and just stupidly vague love triangle.
Yeah.
Like, why? Just cut that out.
Yeah,
you don't need to have that slight sort of romantic interest between Thomas and two different girls.
Yeah.
Like, either flesh it out completely or just scrap it.
Yeah. Because I thought, because I'm older, I thought as soon as they introduced Teresa in the first one, I was like, oh my god, there's going to be like, there's a whole group of boys, some who have been there for 3 years, and now they're in their late teens, and a lady shows up. This is going to be bad, son. But they skipped that because it's a movie for kids, and like, that's fine. That's fine. There's not going to be a love story.
And they don't really have time.
For kids. Yeah, and they don't have time.
Because literally, like, the day after she arrives,
they leave.
The shit goes down.
Yeah. And then, in the second one, they introduce Deborah. Or Brenda. I know, Brenda.
Brenda.
And you think, like, oh, maybe, no, they're not technically older, but they're older. They're more, they're out in the world.
Sort of.
And so, oh, this is going to be a love interest. But then you're kind of like, no. and he's not
Well,
he's not interested in either of them. And it's like, okay,
but
fine,
the
that doesn't matter.
girls kind of show interest in him, which is the odd thing.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah, I didn't really. Yeah, I picked up a little bit on that, but not really.
Specifically Brenda.
Yes. Yeah, well, she's been hanging around with an old man all this time, so.
Yeah,
Oh my
I guess.
God, a young buck.
A young, strong boy who takes command. Of course, she's gonna fall for him.
Yeah. But then, yeah, in the third movie, there's like not even sexual tension. It's just, do you like her or do you like me? It's like, what is this?
Yeah.
Now?
I mean, you do realize that Thomas and Teresa have had a relationship, not a romantic relationship,
No,
but they're
at
best
least like
friends,
yeah,
obviously,
friendship. Yes.
because they've worked together for so long, and she's the only person he wants to talk to when he's done that stupid thing and like revealed it all.
Yeah.
So they have a relationship, not romantic, and they don't show a romantic one until literally like the last scene, or the second to last scene. It's just that was fun until that kiss. That kiss was so unnecessary.
Yes, very unnecessary. But even if they were just going to be friends, like there's no chemistry between them.
No,
like,
I
between
know.
the actors.
Yeah.
It felt very like cold. He had better chemistry with what's his name?
Brenda.
Well, sort of Brenda, but Newt or like
Newt
or
Minnow.
Albie or Minnow. Yeah, Minnow. That was the one.
Yeah.
Like if they kill Minnow in the second one, I remember saying to myself, I'm gonna fucking freak, because he's the only character I kind of liked. He felt natural, and he wasn't an asshole like Will Poulter, obviously, but his character was an asshole, Gally. So I liked Minnow, and I wish I would have fleshed out Minnow a little more.
They actually could have added just one scene in the first movie to explain why Gally doesn't like Thomas, because there is an explanation in the book.
Oh.
Because Gally was stung before Thomas arrived.
Oh.
And as they mentioned in the first movie, Ben, when he gets stung, he's like, I saw you, it's your fault, when he attacks Thomas.
Yeah. And
Gally,
Albie, or whatever his name, says that too. When the like leader of the blade. Yeah.
Gally, when he was stung in the book before Thomas, he sees Thomas. He knows that it's his fault. So when he recovers and then Thomas arrives, he's like, fuck you, man. I know this is your fault. So that's why he's angry with him.
Okay.
In the movie, he doesn't have a reason.
No, they say when he shows up in the end of the first one, he's like, we gotta stay, and points the gun at them. They're like, look out, he's been stung. And I was like, when was he stung?
Yeah, when he followed them. Because
Okay.
he apparently followed them eventually.
Yeah, I guess.
And just was just behind them and then managed to get stung and still get by. I don't know.
Yeah, and kill a griefer and get the thing and figure out the puzzle and...
yeah, or something.
Anyway, yeah, so there's lots of little things. And then the very, very end, when you find out there is a cure. Brenda is fine. She has a scar. That's everything. So there is a cure inside of Thomas.
Yes.
And then they kill the last person alive that could like extract the cure from him, Teresa.
Yeah.
And in a stupid scene where she's like standing still for like 15 seconds, saying like, oh, not saying, but looking at him like, oh, I can't jump. There's no time. She's standing. I was like, jump. Just jump. Just jump.
It would have taken like 1 second after she threw him on there to just
jump. But no.
I mean, 5 people were reaching out and they would have caught her because it wasn't that far.
Yeah. And then she dies.
Yeah.
Having the only like vial of cure or serum, I'm not sure. I think cure.
I think that's actually the cure.
Yeah. And she falls to her death, and they leave.
Yep.
And also, they don't just leave her, they leave the rest of humanity to die in the virus.
Yep. I mean, the rest of America, at least.
Well, yeah, the rest of America, sure. And I was like, wait, you're just gonna... and then they're sitting like, oh, no, we're gonna, we're safe over here. Safe from what? You killed everybody in Wicked. Now there's only the sick people left. And you left them over there to die.
Yeah.
How are you the good guys in this?
Yeah, but that I kind of like that too, because it doesn't. they don't actually become the good guys. They just want to survive, and they don't point themselves out as the good guys. They just point themselves out as survivors.
Yeah, but he is literally the only one that could save humanity.
That we know of.
That we know of, yes, of course, that we know of. And there's no. I thought he was actually going to sacrifice himself when he walks back into the building and talks to Ava. And he's like, "Is this true?
Well, yeah, that's his plan.
Do you have a cure?" But yes, it's inside you. And then the fucking spider guy or whatever his name
Jansen.
is, Jansen,
Spider guy.
Yeah, from Game of Thrones. Isn't he the spider or Littlefinger or whatever he's called?
He's Littlefinger. Yeah.
Littlefinger, right? Shoots her. I was like, why?
Because he's
Then,
the bad guy.
Yes, he's the ha ha ha, I am evil character.
Yes.
So even when they have a cure, and he's like, I'm only gonna give it to people who deserve it. I was like,
Yeah.
why are you evil? This
And
is not the time to be evil.
He didn't think of the fact that, like, he thinks that you have to drain Thomas and just use every single drop of blood there is in him to make the cure. Not, take a little at a time and create more. Because, blood regenerates, sort of.
Yeah, but that's also a thing. That's also a thing that annoyed me. Like, I get that maybe they have to experiment, like, harshly on people in the beginning. But, I mean, this is the future. They have, like jet-propelled
hover planes.
Hover planes and, like, little, like, laser pistols. It's obviously the future. But they don't know how to take a blood sample, extract the stuff they need from that, and then artificially manufacture more of it. Like we do that nowadays. We take blood and then we quote unquote clone it to make several experiments.
I mean, we actually clone everything nowadays. We clone human tissue nowadays.
Yeah. How could you not just like take the blood from one youngster and then just mass produce it from there? Youngster. Young person, and just synthesize it from that. Or like, oh no, we need a couple of samples. Okay, a couple of samples. 1 or 2, let's say 100 young people had to give up their life. They needed all the blood. But that is to save humanity.
Yeah.
Shouldn't that be like the fine?
And I mean, this is written in 2009, the book.
Yeah,
I mean.
So you can't say that. Oh, the science wasn't. No, but this is science fiction.
No, yeah, and I mean, science fiction from like the 80s were smarter than this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to the author James Dashner, but like, come on.
Yeah, and
you made some silly mistakes. That of course they would kind of ruin the story, I guess.
Yes.
If you're like, test the blood, and oh yeah, that's the cure. We got it. Then you don't have to do the maces, and you don't have to do the Scotch trials, and then there's no death cure because you already had the cure. Now you just have to distribute it somehow.
Yeah, there wouldn't be any story then.
No.
So I get that,
but like you could have maybe change it then. Maybe not make that his blood is the cure. Maybe make it his, should I know, sweat. Or something.
yeah.
Or bone marrow at least that like would have killed him if they took too much, literally.
Yeah. Or just get rid of the whole virus altogether. Make it a post-apocalyptic story where some people have and some people have not. The poor against the rich, because that's literally what it is.
Yeah.
You know? It's those people in their ivory towers. It's that kind of movie. True and tried formula for a movie. That's fine. But when you give the have-nots the cure that will save humanity, and then you don't use it in the end of the movie or in the trilogy, it's weird. Because then it's just, oh yeah, we saved our friends. Yeah, but there's more at stake in this story. Those stakes shouldn't have been there from the beginning if you wanted to tell a story like this. The story had to be different. Or if there was a virus, they actually would have they would have to like kill people to get the cure or something. But the way the cure exists, they wouldn't have to kill people because they could have synthesized it.
I'm looking at, because you have to take into consideration there are 2 other young adult novels series that came out around the same time that all had this dystopian kind of vibe, with the groups of people fighting.
Which ones? Game of Thrones? No.
You have
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games, and then
Yes.
you have the Divergent books.
Right. And the Hunger Games, they work.
The first Hunger Games book came out in 2008, I think.
Sure.
So it came out like 1 year before he released his book. Now we don't know who wrote the book first.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not gonna look into that.
you're saying he
I'm
saw the
saying that
success
maybe,
and
sort of maybe, and then maybe he didn't want to mimic it too much, so he added the C's to have something differentiate
yeah.
from the Hunger Games, not just have the rich versus the poor.
Yeah, because the plot works a lot better in Hunger Games because it's the rich. There was a war, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, there was a war, and then they decided to like divide the country into I don't know what they call them.
They're like sectors or districts.
Districts. That's the one.
Districts, yeah.
Districts. Yeah.
And it's literally like we won, so now you're gonna have to suffer, but we'll give you a chance, like once every year or whatever it is. We'll let one of you. We'll let one of you escape your life of poverty. Ha 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 ha. That works. Unless you want to dig into the backstory, and it turns out that the people who lost were monsters. So they're really, so, sort of like the Civil War in America. Like, oh, the South lost, so now we make fun of them. So ha ha ha. Well, that's not fair. Yeah, but they were slave owners. That's why. Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
So
anyway, that's not. It's simpler than that because it's a YA novel.
Yeah.
It's just that the rich people like make the poor people kill themselves for sport. Basically. And the poor people say we're not going to take that anymore. That's a classic revolution story. That works.
But I think that's why he added the disease to not make it look like it's rich versus the poor again.
Yeah, but it complicates everything so much.
Yeah, I know. He could have still written it better.
Yeah, exactly. And he doesn't resolve the virus in the end. And then it's
not really.
We gotta save our friends. We did it.
I mean, they do show that there is a possibility, but since we don't explore other continents, other countries, we don't know if the diseases are the same or if they've mutated and his blood won't cure theirs. We don't know if they have even come that far through the fact that they know that you can find a cure or even a serum. So it would have worked better if you had like Wicked had contact with other people.
Yeah, or if Teresa survived, and she could work on the serum still.
Yeah,
even with limited means, she could still do something.
She could at least work towards having the opportunity to work for it.
Her being alive in the end would signal that there is hope still. But now these like 100 people living on that beach, they're gonna be the last people alive. Okay.
Yeah, and that doesn't work in the second thing then because you're too few to repopulate anything.
Yeah. There is like a literal number. It's like you need to be like 12,
I don't remember.
I think it's 1,200 humans are needed to repopulate the Earth. If everyone dies except for 1,200, I think it is, you're fine. It will take generations upon generations, but you will repopulate the Earth.
2,500.
2,500. Okay.
To 5,000.
Something like that. Okay, fine. So
there has to be at least like 500, literally individual. They can't have any sort of relation ever.
Sure. Yeah. So Earth is fucked in the end of the third movie.
Yeah, if they are the only ones who are alive.
Yes.
Which, as far as we know, they have no contact with anyone else. So yeah, they kind of are.
Yeah, and that annoyed me. That annoyed me a lot.
It did annoy me when I read the books as well. I do remember that. It was like, no, you didn't win. You just bought yourself time.
You just ran away.
You just got to live in a pretty place. Yeah. Doesn't mean you're safe. I mean, cranks could still come running. You don't know that.
Exactly. Yeah.
We don't know how long they survive without food. We saw the ones in the tunnels under the city. They like became part of the pipe and then took a what's it called? They hibernated sort of until they saw movement and then they actually moved again. So we don't know. Maybe they could survive for years without food.
Yeah.
And walk how far ever. Like they don't need to stop.
There was a lot of stuff added just because it sounds cool. I think oh, we have zombies. Oh, we have a revolution in the end. Oh, we have a guy with tree stuff growing out of his face. But it didn't work. It didn't fit into the story or didn't fit into the world.
No,
unfortunately.
it lacked details to be able to work. But to add details would have added way more time,
Yeah. And
which it didn't need.
that's why I think the first movie works the best.
Yes.
Because everything is still a mystery, which is annoying, but it's okay, fair. And then you find out that in the end that, oh, this was all a test, and you did it, and like, oh, okay, that
Yeah,
works.
like,
But then you find out the
and
test is for like them being immune to a virus and stuff. But it's just the fact about the maze and the maze runners works as a concept.
yeah. It feels like he wanted to write the story as one big story, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Like he had an idea, but he didn't know how to connect it, and then he didn't know how to tie up the loose ends towards the third book. So he just like, hey,
Revolution, save our friends.
revolution, yeah, something.
Okay.
She died. Fine. We need to kill someone. She dies because killing Newt wasn't enough.
No, yeah.
No, because in the book he dies way further, way earlier. So,
Oh, okay.
it's silly.
It's
And I
silly.
mean, you have like one major death per almost per book, I think, because in the first one you have Chuck,
Chuck.
which is in the film kind of over dramatic because you don't. I didn't get the feel that Thomas and Chuck were like best friends, like brothers in the film.
No,
But in
yeah,
the book,
it,
you do get that sense.
oh, okay, yeah, because it just takes place over like a few days. He's just there for like a few days, right?
It feels like a few days in the movie, yeah, but no, it's supposed to be like a couple of months.
Oh,
I
okay,
think.
okay. Because I think they literally mentioned like, oh, ever since Thomas showed up a few days ago, everything's been going to shit.
Yeah,
They
they
mentioned
just
at the end.
they rush it too much.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They could have added like 10 minutes of just downtime where you see that time passes.
Yeah.
That Thomas gets into the rut of things, sort of.
Yeah.
No, he literally like the second day he's there, he runs out into the maze, and then the third day he's a runner, and then the fourth day they found the exit.
yeah.
More or less.
And then Albie dies, but that's and I felt more when Albie died because he had a better connection to Thomas,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But Chuck, of course, because he's the youngest one, he took a bullet for Thomas,
Yeah.
and they have the bond with the little puppet thing.
Yeah, give it to my parents.
Yeah.
When you see him, dude, he's not gonna see him.
No, well,
How will he know that it's them?
He will run around and say, Chuck's parents!
Yeah,
Chuck's
the thing is, though,
parents!
that's not their real names.
No, I know. No, they do remember their names, right?
Yeah, according to the books, no.
Oh, okay, because in the movie, after a while, they do remember their names.
Yeah, but I think that's names that they were given by Wicked.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because Gally.
Yeah,
Albie,
Gally is
Fry Pan.
They're some of them are short for like famous people,
Oh, okay.
famous inventors and stuff. So Gally is short for Galileo.
I was gonna say
Thomas is Thomas Jefferson. Newt is Isaac Newton.
Isaac Newton, yeah. Who's Albie?
Albie is Albert Einstein, I think.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say who's the famous Albert? Oh, right.
But then again, I don't think Mino is short for anything specific, and I don't think Fry Pan is either.
Fry Pan is probably not short.
No, but Teresa is supposed to be sort of like Mother Teresa, I think.
Should have been.
And Winston is like Winston Churchill, but he doesn't have enough character to be a character that needs that name.
And then Ben is Ben Franklin?
Possibly, I don't remember.
Yeah, but then Teresa should have been Marie, as in Marie Curie, who discovered.
Yeah, that would have made more sense.
Didn't she discover penicillin?
Yeah, she did.
Hello.
She got the Nobel Prize for it as well.
Yeah, come on. Anyway, that's a nitpick.
Yeah.
And
I think that was like a stylistic choice as well in the book, because Thomas and Teresa, you have the same letter, maybe
sure,
that.
yeah, like super
Something. Yeah.
Which one do you like the best? Because I know
the Maze Runner.
The first one, yeah, because
Yeah.
that's the one that got the highest like meta score.
Yeah,
Then
they've all received like the first one is the best, and then the second one, and then the third one.
No, I think
More or
I
less.
think Scorch Trials got the worst actually.
Really?
Yeah, Scorch Trials has a
43.
43,
Oh yeah, that's true.
And I think Death Cure has
Death Cure has 50,
exactly, and Maze Runner is 53.
57.
57. Ooh, that's almost a
Ooh,
green score.
almost. But I've seen a lot of people online that like the second one is the best. Like, as a separate movie, it could have worked.
Yes, because it's a typical you're safe now, but there's something weird going on.
Yeah.
People seem to disappear, and I like the part. That's why I really liked the first part of the movie, when Thomas starts questioning like why are we being kept here? Why are they only like
Hmm.
taking like 10 out of us out at a time? And why do we never see where they're going?
Why
And
do they never come back?
yeah, and Newt says like, "Come on, man. Like we got fresh clothes, we got food, we have nice beds.
We haven't been this comfortable in 3 years, some
Yeah,
of us. I'm like,
yes. Some of us haven't been
sure.
this comfortable in a long time. Some even longer. And like it's like the banality of evil, like the comfort of the false comfort. We're like,
Yeah.
oh, as long as we have this, we're fine with being like lab rats. Sort of like
Yeah.
sort of like um, well, the house N word, like the slaves that get to live in the house.
Yeah.
So they start hating the other slaves, because they
Because
have they have rich
they're
life now.
better.
They're
Yeah.
better, yeah. Now, so they're just okay with being prisoners there and being experimented on because we have warm beds and clothes.
We get to
That
be
would have been
inside.
yeah, that would have been an interesting concept to like
Yeah.
work further with. So that
Also, though, that argument that Newt has, that some of us haven't had a proper bed in over 3 years. Like,
yeah.
dude doesn't remember having a comfortable bed, so I don't think that
That's
argument actually
true. That
works.
doesn't work. You've never you have never had a
You
warm
not as
bed.
you as
That
far
did
as
you
you
know?
know,
Yeah.
you've never had a proper bed or clean clothes or proper showers, so it's all news to them.
That's true. That's
I'm
true.
sorry, that argument just doesn't work.
But
But
I
I
mean,
agree. All movies, actually, all three of them would have worked better as separate movies
yeah.
in and of themselves. With okay, maybe you had to add a little bit to the Maze Runner,
Yes.
or just to have a proper ending. Like you can't just end with the video, message from Ava, like, "Oh, you survived." No, you had to like have them come pick them up at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, okay, you got it. Let's do this now, or you finished. We're gonna save you now. We're done.
Yeah.
You had to have something like
And
that, and the
they
same with
say,
like the
"Oh,
sports trials.
we need to test every young person needs to be tested before they enter this harsh world."
Yeah,
But we can't tell you about it because then we know you won't fight for real
yeah,
or whatever,
something like that. And
something.
that would have been a perfect ending to that movie,
Sort of
and
like
then you didn't need to have the sequels.
yeah, sort of like a gladiator thing or something,
Yeah,
There's one thing I thought about though. Now that we're talking about it, because they see the video from the Ava lady, the main
yeah.
scientist lady. And she shoots herself in the head, but that turns out to be fake. And she's like, the first trial is finished. Now let's see how they deal with the second trial. What was the second
Scorch
trial?
trial is the second trial.
Yeah, but what is the trial?
Not sure. See if they can survive the environment,
But
because like
that's not
the maze is like in a dome. I think
yeah,
they're not actually exposed to the environment of the world where the Scorch is.
Well,
So now they're like gonna
they do fly next to it, and you see it's open air. It's just very
yeah
tall walls.
yeah, I guess, but it's supposed to be something like that. Like they
Okay,
have to
supposed to be
survive the
domed.
second environment, like the real environment
Yeah, but
that
it's
actually has the flare. But it doesn't make sense as well.
yeah,
Because
because the Scorch trials aren't like a controlled trial.
no, not really.
They're imprisoned, and then they escape the prison, and
All of a sudden, there's
is that
another.
is that the trial that they escape that they were supposed to escape and join up with the rebels and
No, I don't think so.
so
I don't know, to be honest. I don't remember the books.
what was the Scorch trials?
Maybe it was supposed to be, um, maybe the second trial is just to comply and let them experiment on you when you get to the compound.
Okay.
I guess that is the second trial, to see if your blood is, well, your adrenaline
Yeah, I
is actually
guess.
compatible to the serum.
But it makes sense to call it the Scorch trials because now they're out in the scorched earth.
Yes.
So the name is super cool, but it
Yes.
doesn't mean anything within context of the story.
Of the movie, at least.
Yeah, the movie. Yeah.
Maybe they have some more explanation in the book, but I do not remember it.
Okay.
And I actually couldn't find any videos or anything on like people talking about the trials specifically. Like
Okay.
everyone is either just talking about the movie separately and like praising them or hating them, and then you have a few videos like talking about the story in general, and then some talking about the flare virus, but not specifically about the trials. Not that I could
Yeah,
find, at
yeah.
least.
Like what actually is the trials? And this is
How
this
many
is
trials are there?
yes, because I was gonna say that's very big nitpick. It could just be 2 trials, but she says how will they like survive this? She says second or next trial. I remember that.
Yeah.
So that implies that there is at least one more, right?
Yeah.
Because she doesn't say the final trial.
Yeah.
So what's the third one? Killing Wicked?
Or just surviving.
I don't
I'd
know.
like to see that it is um testing their like bodily fluids in general.
Uh,
And then I think that people like Newt probably wouldn't have survived it.
yeah.
Because they
Or
would have found out that he isn't an immune, so they would have gotten rid of him.
or it could be because there's a thing called trial by fire, where trial by fire,
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
you're put into the world and you're basically being tested by
Just
just living the real world.
yeah,
That's a trial by fire.
survive or
Yeah.
not.
And Scorch has to do with heat, so maybe it's a play on trial by fire. Scorch
Could
sounds
be.
cooler. Scorch trials. So
Yeah, and it works with the fact that they call it the scorch.
the
So
Scorch, yeah, and the second one does take place out in the scorched earth.
yeah, maybe.
So the name might just be implying that this is their trial by fire.
But they
So
shouldn't have used the word trial then.
exactly, that's what I was gonna get
In
to.
the first movie, when they're talking about the maze, they should have called it the test or something instead.
Yes, because then you're expecting this to be a second test because she mentioned
Yeah.
the first test, but
Yeah,
maybe it
they
was
should
just a
have.
trial by fire. I mean,
They should have just called it the maze, just like, oh, they survived the maze, not call it a test or a trial or anything. Just they survived the maze. That's all they need to do.
exactly. There's a lot of little things, but you
It could
see,
have made this so much more. Well, not much more. It could have been better, but I'm not
it
going
could
to
have
say
been.
it's bad.
They're not bad because there are a lot of good things. Like I think most of the action is fun, especially
Mhm.
the bigger stuff in the third movie, like the scene where they're stuck, like when they rescue Minnow
Yeah.
and they jump out of the window, like
We don't see that there's
like
water down there.
no, we see the thing they throw out land in water, but that might be like I don't know, like 10 centimeters. That's a little
Yeah.
fountain, that's like it's like knee height water.
Yeah.
And they jump out. It's like 200 feet almost, like 100 meters almost, and they just jump on it. I was literally like, whoa, when they did, and the camera
Yeah.
follows them. It was a cool scene. It was a cool
Yeah.
set piece, and there are some
Yeah.
more cool action especially in the third one.
Because that I gotta give the movie that they have all of them. They have very like interesting and well made action and good shots, and the
Yeah.
themes are very specific. You can see the colors running through the entire movie. They
Oh
always
yeah.
stick to it, and it looks very good. It's very visually pleasing or pretty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, but then the story kind of mucks it up with
The problem is
being
the story.
lackluster.
Yes. But then I gotta think like maybe he like glossed over some details because he knows that the audience is gonna be like between 9 and 15.
Yeah. And again, the books are more detailed, definitely. I'll give
Yeah.
them that. You
Yeah.
can't have everything in a movie, but then when you write the script, you have to be more careful about what details you actually bring in, because you can take part of that detail and not take the rest of it, because it just falls short then.
Yeah. And then the James Dashner,
Yeah.
he's not involved in the movies in any way, right?
I don't
He's not
think
like
so.
no, he's not a producer. He's not involved in the writing of the script.
No. It's just based upon a novel by James Dashner.
Right. He actually has an uncredited role in Maze Runner and Death Cure as a lab tech.
Oh, okay.
That's
So
it.
he did a cameo.
Yes, he was in the movie at least.
I mean, he did obviously approve of it.
Yes. No, well, I don't think he has. They don't need the approval. I'm not 100% on how this all works, but I know that the only thing the author can do is sell the rights to the book. They say, "Oh, we really love your book. We want to turn this into a movie, and we'll buy the rights to the script, so to speak, the movie rights. We'll
Yeah.
buy them from you for $1 million." They say.
But he could have denied that and said, like, no, you won't be able to make a movie good enough. So, no.
Yes,
But
could,
he
he could have,
obviously
but
sold them. He said fine.
yes, usually that's not the author's involvement usually ends when they sell the rights.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do stay on as a scriptwriter or a producer, and that's fine. And I wonder if maybe that would have helped, because if it's like you're saying, that there are a lot of details that kind of help to flesh out the story. If it would have helped to have him on as at least a producer that could say, this thing, could we do something about that?
Yeah, just to make sure that some of the details actually follow along and make sense.
Yeah. Because, once again, especially the third one, there's so much stuff that just doesn't make sense in that one.
But I gotta give credit, though, to the movies.
Okay?
Because at least they made all 3 movies.
Yes.
And they didn't divide it, like we said. They didn't divide and make 2 last movies, because I
Yeah.
hate that, like the Hunger Games did. Why did you divide that one? That would have been a perfect 1 movie, not 2. Then you have the Divergent books. Did you know that they never actually made a movie of the last one?
Which one?
The Divergent books.
They
They're also
didn't?
3 books.
Oh, no. So they made Divergent no, they made 3-1.
Yeah, but it was supposed to be 4. Because they divided the 3rd book into 2 when they made the movies. But then the 3rd movie kind of tanked. And they were like, yeah, we're not going to make the 4th movie to conclude the 3rd book.
So the
but we're going to do a TV show.
Oh, but
none of the
right?
actors agreed to the TV show.
But
So they couldn't really do it properly.
But they made the show.
I think they made the show, but with other actors, so they couldn't really have the same characters.
I've never
strictly. No, to be honest, I gotta give credit to another YouTube channel here, because Dylan is in Trouble recently released a video where he went into more detail about this.
Oh.
It was really interesting, but that was shortly after I decided on the Maze Runner, to be fair.
Okay.
So but I looked it up, and it's weird because it is 3 books in Divergent as well, but they made the 4 movie thing, and then the 3rd movie kind of tanked, so they never made the 4th movie.
Oh yeah. The 3rd one is Allegiance,
Shit.
right?
Yeah.
All right, let's see if
Well, technically there's a 4th book, but it's a sort of spin-off on another
okay. Yeah. But there was
point of view.
A trilogy.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, they must have lost so much. The budget was $110 million, and that's just the budget to make the movie.
Then you have all the other things.
And big movie like this, you could probably add another 100 million just for ads, like trailers and stuff.
Marketing.
So let's say $210 to $250 million they spent, and they made back $179 million. They lost like $70 million. Oh my god. Okay.
So they were supposed to make a series, and not on a popular streaming service or anything that I didn't even recognize the name, and none of the actors agreed to it. They were like, nope, we're not doing a TV show. It's not going to make the last part of the story justice, so we're not going to do it.
Oh shit. Oh,
because the plan was probably
the
plan was to continue the show with other characters that they were going to introduce in the last movie. Well, the last part of the book, I guess.
I don't even think they made the show. This is what it says. Like many other adaptations of young adult novel series, blah, 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 they mention a bunch. The plan was to split the last book in the series into 2 films. With this movie, though, the first, Allegiant, basically covering the first half, and Ascendant was supposed to be the second one, covering the rest.
Yeah.
However, due to negative reviews and a disappointing box office result, Ascendant, along with the TV series follow-up, were
Oh,
subsequently
right.
cancelled. The show was
They never did the
the
show.
show was supposed to continue after Ascendant.
Yeah, but then they were like, maybe we can do the last bit and then continue the show with that. But they just never did anything.
Oh no! So there
Nothing to
isn't
do it.
there isn't a
Isn't the conclusion?
oh my god!
And if I remember the last movie correctly, it literally ends with like a cliffhanger, and you're like, ugh, what's
Oh,
next?
let's see here. Yeah, no, there isn't one. There's only like fan stuff, like, oh, these are the people I
Yeah.
want. Yeah, there's no TV show. Oh,
So credit to Maze Runner for actually finishing.
yeah, credit, because that wasn't either like a huge hit. I know I
No.
think that's why they waited with the third one also, like because they were struggling with the second one. I think. Let's see.
Yeah, and I think some of the actors had other things to do in between, so they were like, okay, yeah, if we can finish this, then we'll come do it. Sort of. I have a feeling that's it, at
Yeah.
least.
No, well, no, actually, I don't think they struggled that much. It cost us 61 million, so let's say 150 total, and they made 312 worldwide, so that's fine.
Yeah, but I mean, they did wait 3 years
They did, yeah,
to make
still
the
wait.
third one.
Why did they wait so long?
Yeah, I don't know. But again, if you look at like the main actor, Dylan O'Brien, he did 2 movies and a TV show in between.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I remember.
I think he did like 2 or 3 seasons of Teen Wolf in between the second and the third movie. Because
Yeah, it
they
looks
also
like it.
they recorded a lot of the same a lot of the seasons in one like go, as far as I know.
Yeah, he
But
made
then like the last couple of seasons, maybe they waited a little bit.
right. Oh, he made Deepwater Horizon in between.
Mm,
Okay,
yeah.
that's a good movie. It's
Yeah.
a fine movie. Wasn't there like, I don't know, because I don't want to call you like a stan, but you were definitely a fan of him back then,
Yes.
probably because of the books and stuff.
Mostly because of Teen Wolf, to be honest.
Right. Did you had a shirt with his name on? Still Snilinski?
Stilinski. Dude, you
Stilinski.
bought it for me.
Right. Yeah, I
You
didn't
bought
know
it
the
as a
names, I
Christmas
just-
present.
Yeah. And anyway, okay.
Yeah, it was a Teen Wolf
Reference.
shirt. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
it
his lacrosse shirt, I think, or lacrosse number.
Style Stilinski. Right. Anyway,
Yeah.
and I
Exposing me as one of the weird stands. Thank you.
sorry, but that's in your past. Please, people,
Totally.
it's in her past. She's not weird anymore.
Totally.
No, but I don't know if it was you who told me, or maybe I'm just making this up. But didn't he because he got kind of popular? So he had like the show, he had the Maze Runner series. He wanted to make other movies to not be typecast. Didn't he kind of like what do you call it? Like run into a wall? What is it called? Like,
Yeah, I think he did.
he kind of got
He
burned
kind of
out.
he kind of got sick of doing it, sort of. Because
Yeah.
if you look at his things,
Yeah,
his credits,
There's a lot going on in the second like half of the 2010s.
yeah, but then I think he only did in 2019 and 2020, except for one movie he did. Well, that has actually premiered and been released. He only did like voiceovers and a TV show.
Yeah, he did. When he did Death Cure in 2018, I can't. It feels so weird that Death Cure came out the same year as the Bumblebee movie. It feels like they came out years apart. I don't know why. Maybe because I never paid
But it's
attention
because
to.
we never
Runner.
we never went to see Bumblebee in theaters.
Either that or Maze Runner. So I guess that's why. But but yeah, he did one episode of a TV show called Weird City in 2019.
That's a YouTube original also.
Oh, okay. And then one episode of Amazing Stories in 2020. And then he made
yeah, and that's an
flashbacks.
Apple TV, so it's like
He's in a new movie now though that I've seen stuff about. I haven't watched the
There's
trailer stuff. Love and Monsters.
There's 2 specific ones that actually are. I think they were both supposed to premiere last year, but I'm not sure they actually did worldwide. It's The Education of Frederick Fitzel and then Love and Monsters.
The Education of Frederick Fitzel. That's not on his.
Yes, it is. On his IMDb.
No.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I pressed it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth from above,
Untitled
from the top.
Skydance Project. The Outfit,
The outfit,
Infinite. Oh, The
Love and
Outfit.
Monsters, and then
Flashback.
Education of Frederick Fitzel.
Well, not on mine.
Are you logged in or something? Is it different?
I don't know. Send me the link. I'm gonna have to do so much cutting in this episode.
That's why we do it live, right?
Yeah. No, but it's called Flashback.
Yeah, it's changed its name like 3
Oh,
times apparently.
well, say
but it's
Flashback
still called
then.
No, but when I see it, I can send you a fucking print screen. It's
Well,
it's Education of Frederick. Honestly, let's do this for the people who are watching this live.
Yeah.
It's
What?
probably backwards, but it's the Education of Frederick Fitzel.
Well, for the people watching live, I clicked in on the link that Rebecka sent me, and this is what it looks like on mine.
That is so weird.
Flashback.
we like
and,
find a glitch in the Matrix.
and the original title says under is the Education of Frederick Fitzel. All
We
right,
found
whatever.
a glitch in the Matrix. I love this, and we have it on camera.
We're back. Yes, we have it on
Awesome.
camera now. Okay. I recognize that one.
Yeah,
I recognize the poster. I've seen the poster somewhere.
I've
Anyway.
seen the trailer on YouTube.
Okay, I haven't looked at the trailer. Anyway, where were we going with this? I don't remember.
I don't remember either. We were giving praise to the movie for actually being complete, to be honest.
Yes, yes.
And again, they're visually very good to me, to
They
be
look-
honest.
they
I
look good,
cannot
yes.
find a problem with that. I mean, I always have the same nitpicking with the action because teenagers all of a sudden know how to use guns.
Yes, they're very good at shooting guns towards the end. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like you
But
were-
like even all of a sudden when they're being attacked when they're with the right arm, they all know how to use a shotgun and a fucking sniper rifle or something.
yeah,
Like
and
how?
like for some of them, like literal days before, they couldn't remember their names. But okay.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like in the Fast and Furious movies, where they, without any training, all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, I'm a fucking super hacker that can hack the world," or "Yes, I'm
it's
a."
like every action movie. They like give you a gun. Like, do you know how to use this? No, I've never. And then they
and then chop, 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 they're
bullseye,
John
like-
Wick, yeah.
yeah.
Like, oh,
So-
2 movies ago, I was a mechanic. Now I am a weapons specialist. Oh, are
Yeah.
you? Since when?
Let's use this bazooka. I know how to use it.
Yeah.
But that's the same issue I have with every action movie there ever is.
Yeah, all of a sudden they can just use guns.
Yeah, and they're like super fast and super strong and like, oh, they can survive anything. They know stuff. Like who even if you're a good runner, like who knows? Who has the mindset that yeah, I'm gonna slide under that closing thick metal door and I know I'm
Ooh.
gonna make it? Jesus Christ, I would not
Yeah.
even risk it. I would like lie down and die.
And I noticed like a flaw in the CGI actually, because it's
Yeah.
when they're escaping the compound in Scorch Trials, and Thomas is he's a little behind the other ones.
Yeah.
The door's closed and look, come on, and he runs and he slides under the door.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, it's so close. And I looked at it and like, hey, that's a CGI door. Because his hair almost clips through the door. Like,
Yeah.
oh, come on. But that's fine. Because that would be so
it's
dangerous to
also
do in
so-
real life.
Yeah, and it's also so fast you're not supposed to
I
notice
know,
it.
I know, but I just, hey,
You know,
what the hell?
a seasoned movie watcher,
Exactly.
you're gonna notice it. Not the tweens who went to see it in
No.
theaters, though.
No, yeah. last nitpick. We haven't talked a lot about the first movie because, like we said, it's the one that works the best.
Yeah.
One huge nitpick though.
Uh-huh.
They were there for years, but no one ever tried to build a ladder.
Oh, that's also a thing they mention in the
Come
books.
on.
In the
Really?
books, they mention that they do try to climb to the top,
Yeah.
but the ivy doesn't grow that far, and it's
Yeah.
too tall for them to, like, get up there.
That's also a goof though, because you see ivy growing to the top several
Yeah.
times. But I'm saying, like, in the glade, just cut down some trees, build a ladder.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because then you could just walk along the wall, and I mean, the maze is pretty big, but it's not that big. You could see to the end of the maze.
And it moves every night, though. So I mean, it was. But yeah,
Yeah, but
you could have
not the
just
inner walls. They don't move.
no. You could have just gone up there and walked along them every night instead of in between them, because probably the grievers won't climb up there.
No, I don't think so.
They're not probably not programmed for that.
Isn't that also because the grievers? I mean, it's such a dumb risk. Like, I'm wondering if he had the whole story written out when he started writing it, because several of the young people die. They get attacked and killed by the grievers. Isn't that a terrible waste of serum bodies? You know.
I think that the griever's poison or venom is supposed to be the same as the flare.
Yeah, sure, but sometimes they just
So if
grab a
you're
kid and pull them
immune,
down into the abyss. You know.
if you're immune, you wouldn't die.
No. Yeah, that's fine. But I mean, sometimes they just kill the kids. Not by stinging them, but just killing them. Isn't that a terrible waste?
But they only do it towards the end when Thomas has killed one.
Sure, yeah.
So maybe it's that triggered that sort of defense.
Or he didn't have the full story written.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
He only had like the bulk
idea.
of it.
Oh, they're
the
stuck in
idea.
this weird maze. Yeah.
There's like also, I hate how the grievers are portrayed in the movie because they do not look like what I imagined when I read the book. They're supposed to look like slugs. I mean, they're kind of fleshy and weird, but they don't look like slugs.
I don't remember the way I saw them, because they're kind of like spider/scorpion looking in the movie.
Yeah.
I saw them more like, I'm trying to remember, but
they're supposed to be more like flubber and slug-like.
Oh, okay. Because I have like a picture of like a sleek looking thing, no robot parts on it like in the movie.
No, you're not supposed to see it because they actually say like when they kill it, they realize that inside of the flesh, the slimy flesh, there's robot parts.
Yeah, but
oh shit!
I saw
but in the movie, you see the robot arms. Like, what?
The way I visioned them was like they're smaller, sleeker looking. They had fur. I saw them as having fur for some reason. I don't know.
I remember them as being slimy.
I don't know. Either way.
No.
Yeah, but
that's... it's based on the book, so maybe they could take some creative liberties.
Yeah, of course. And then the whole thing with the ladders. Yeah, then the maze would be pointless because they could just leave.
Yeah.
So, but that's the kind of stuff like. Then you have to change your story. If you, well, maybe he didn't, but if you realize that, oh shit, my story is ruined because they could just build a ladder, or my story is ruined because they already have a cure, then you gotta change the story.
Yeah.
You gotta write a second draft.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's missing from the original story. But overall, the movies were fine.
It's still my favorite young adult movies, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the first Hunger Games, didn't like it. I think I prefer Maze Runner over that one. I don't know.
Yeah.
it's so melodramatic.
The Hunger Games movies are way too melodramatic. It doesn't feel like a young adult story.
And then I've seen the Harry Potter books, the Harry Potter movies. I've seen all of them except for the 6th one, which is dumb. I know.
No, you saw it. Because we went to see a double screening of the. No, wait,
that was number 7 and 8 technically. I never saw the 6th one,
right.
And I never read the 6th book,
or the 7th.
Or the 7th. So the one where they reveal Snape as like the savior and his backstory. I missed all that. I stopped reading after the 5th one because I thought the 5th one was so fucking good. Anyway,
to be honest, I don't count when I'm thinking young adult. I'm not counting Harry Potter because that one is.
It started
before all of that, and it doesn't have the same theme because every single young adult book has the same sort of. After that, I mean, like with the Hunger Games and Divergent and Maze Runner, and even the what's it called, the Shadow and Bone. What's it called?
Yeah,
Shadow City, City of Bones.
Okay,
books.
right. Yeah.
They all have first of all, it's a trilogy. You have the sort of love triangle thing.
And there's a revolution.
And there's a revolution of sorts.
It's always the same thing.
Yeah.
Harry Potter was different. That kind of stuff
Yes.
happens like in the last couple of books, from what I
Yeah.
understand. It's
Sort of.
it's like in the end of the 5th book, and then the 6th and 7th are really more about that. But before that, it's just adventure books.
Yeah, and you've had the main story being built up and fleshed out throughout all the books. You have the bad guy being the same bad guy all the time.
Yeah.
It's not like in the Hunger Games where you kind of don't know who the bad guy is in the first movie, and then in the second one it's that person, but then in the third one you realize, oh, it's them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, like
Uh,
stick to one.
And that series kind of started before the whole YA craze,
Yes.
because that came like in the early 2000s, and then we already had like 3 or 4 books of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And he's 11 in the first one. That's not a young adult. That's
Exactly. That's a kid's book almost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the first one is like a kid's book.
I mean, I read it when I was 7. I saw the first movie when I was like 7.
Yeah, yeah.
And it worked. It didn't scare me. I mean, it messed me up, but I'm always
Yeah. But then so other than that though, I've seen the first Twilight, and that's terrible.
Oh God, don't even get me started.
Once again,
exposed,
Rebecca, exposed. You were
I
a
was
ginormous fan of the Twilight books.
the books, yes.
Oh, sure,
The
the
movies, not so much, to be honest.
Okay.
I only went along because I had friends who really wanted to do it. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna hang out with my friends. I'll go see it again. I think I saw the first movie in theaters like 8 times
Yeah.
in total, because I did like go to 2 marathons as well over the
Yeah.
years.
And I remember I bought you the first one on Blu-ray.
Yes.
And that's
Because if I was gonna watch it, you wanted me to watch it in good quality.
and that's why I watched it, because I had the movie. I bought it like several months before Christmas.
Well, that's right. It wasn't wrapped in plastic anymore when I got it.
No. Because and that's actually good, because I bought it on a sale from Webhallen,
Yeah.
and back then they used to, like, when they had a sale, sometimes they would just sell faulty stuff. So I had actually bought movies before from them where the like menus were fucked up or the discs was scratched. So I was like, it was part.
I should check this one.
Yeah, that was part of it, but also part like, I want to see what this is all about. So I like,
Yeah.
no, I'm gonna check the quality of the discs. I put it in, and I'm glad I did, because it worked, but I'm also not glad I did, because the movie was terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, those movies are just let's just not. I mean, the books are still intriguing, especially when you're like 12 to 14.
Yeah.
It's very intriguing.
Yeah, it's teen romance.
But the story,
glittering
if you look at it
vampires.
now, is ridiculous.
But somehow also those, especially like the first. I mean, there is a little bit of like action and violence in it, but it's basically at least the first two. There's 3 books, right? 4 books? 3 books? I don't know.
I had 3 books, main books, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the main books. Yeah, but
Or
at
is it 4? I don't actually remember.
there's 4 movies, but I know they split the last one, so I think it's 3 books. Twilight, New Moon, Breaking Dawn. Isn't that it? Is
I
there
have to
another
look it up. I'm not sure.
one? Anyway, I know that at least the first one is like a romance novel. It's like a Daniel Steele book, at least if you judge from the movie. But even that franchise manages to end with like an epic battle.
Yeah. Oh no! The funny thing is, the
I know.
battle doesn't
Yes.
actually happen.
I've heard that. That
Yeah.
made me like
That made me
scream.
angry.
Yeah, when the fight was, it was just her seeing the future, and she was like, "No, we can't fight," because from what I understand, that
Yeah.
fight is insane. Like, they crack open the world, and you can see magma, and they rip people's heads off, and
More or less.
I'm like, "Whoa, that's awesome!" And then, it wasn't real. Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. Let's not talk about those.
no, let's not. Yeah, let's
Let's end it with the Maze Runner. So,
let's go
like
back to
in
the
general,
Maze Runner. In general,
it's a good movie.
for kids, they'll probably
Yes.
like them.
Yeah.
For me, I wanted some more nuance, a little more complexity.
You're a bit too old.
I mean, yes, I am too old for the movies, definitely. But I did enjoy. Like, I think Dylan O'Brien is a good actor. Will Poulter, definitely. I did. Yeah, I said I didn't mention that.
The like main boys are great
They're
actors.
pretty good actors, yeah. And then
The
even
rest of them, I mean, the older ones, of course, the adults, of course, but they're so shortly in the movies or
yeah,
have so little screen time.
they're so
You
poorly
don't have
fleshed
time
out. Yeah,
to like even think about if they're good or not.
yeah. I don't think I mentioned that, but I said I was happy when I saw Will Poulter in the third one.
Yeah, you did.
I actually had like a little woo moment when I saw him, because I thought he was so wasted in that first movie
Yeah.
as like a semi bad guy, and then they kill him. I was like, oh. But
I found it
then he was
funny
back.
that knowing that he's British,
Yeah.
it must have been so difficult to have to speak American when you have one actor who's allowed to speak British.
Yeah, I think most of the actors were British, and the only one that spoke British was Newt, and I don't know why.
Yeah. No, I don't know why either.
Maybe he just
He
wasn't good at American.
refused. Yeah, maybe his American sucks.
Yeah. So yeah, actors for the most part fine.
Yeah.
Pretty good action, especially in the second, especially in the third one.
Yeah.
But then yeah, the plot leaves a lot to be desired.
Yes.
So
Unfortunately.
I won't be revisiting them.
No.
But I don't regret watching them, I suppose.
That's fair enough.
I do resent you for making me watch all three in like 3 days.
You know, you inspired me for that, so
Really?
suit yourself. Honestly, I don't think we could have talked about all three movies separately.
No,
We would have struggled.
No. Yeah, it wouldn't have worked.
And again, like I said in the beginning, when my mic didn't work, they are technically one long story. They really do pick up where the last one left off,
That's true.
more or less specifically. Like,
Yes.
so it does make sense to see them as a whole and not like, oh, it's been like in Harry Potter, there's a summer in between that you don't need to see.
Yeah, and that's also like, but that's just me. Well, it's not just me, but it's.
Oh my god, maybe they could have made just one movie out of all of them.
I was thinking that as well, because there is a lot of like just moments where they're just like running or walking. Like, cut all those out. Make the maze running like the first 25-30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they get out, the maze runners find a way, and like, we're safe. And then like, holy shit, there's just a desert. And
you could have given them like a 30-minute each, and you had
yeah,
movie.
Yeah,
sort of.
Yeah,
give or take.
Yeah, 2-hour movie, so a little about a little more than half an hour for each like book. It would have been better, because then you wouldn't have had 2 movies that end unresolved. Like the first one, like, you're safe, we're gonna go now. Where? What happened? What is the maze? What was going on? Virus? The world is burned? Hey, wait a minute!
Yeah.
And then the second one, oh no, everyone died? They're kidnapping all our friends? Oh, but he's gonna go save them. But they're not gonna show that? Hey, stop! Wait! That's annoying. A movie, even if it's part of a trilogy, needs to have a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yes.
And I'm gonna give, like, there are movies, of course, that don't follow that work.
Of course. I mean, but this one would have needed it.
Back to the Future Part 2.
Yeah.
he sends Marty home, and then seconds later he appears again. He says, "But I sent you back to the future." He's like, "Yeah, I know, Doc, but now I'm back. I'm back from the future." That's a good ending. So there are exceptions, but here it felt like, no, wait, don't end here. It was annoying.
Yeah, but I think we'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that, yes. So if you haven't seen them, now you don't have to, because we told you. We told you in about the same time that these 3 movies should have been, an hour and a half.
If you want to know the story, read the books.
Read the books. From what I understand, they're better.
Yes.
Yeah. Do we have any plans for next week? I don't think we usually don't. That should be a thing. We should, because this is a spoiler cast, we should have like a movie prepared, so that people can watch it if they want to. But
we usually prepare during we usually have one prepared when we do record the Patreon exclusive episode. So
yeah,
if you want to know what we're going to talk about next Thursday,
that's true.
Maybe check out the Monday episode on Patreon.
Exactly. And I can probably say that we're gonna sort of continue talking about YA novels or book adaptations.
Yeah, I think so.
Because we
normally do continue on with the theme
of
the Thursday episode on Monday.
I actually had an idea that for the Patreon exclusive episode, we could each like talk about a book we would like to see.
Ooh.
Movieized, filmed is what it's called.
Film-
Adapted. That's the word.
Film
Thank you.
movie, yeah, film adaptation.
And we might even reminisce a little bit about the time that we wrote a YA novel, if you remember that, Rebecka.
You did? I remember the children's book we wrote. I don't remember the YA novel.
Yeah, well, if you want to hear more, because I have what we wrote. I still have it. So if you want to hear our idea for a YA novel, check
us out on Patreon.
check us out on Patreon. Join the $3 tier, and you will not only hear that story, but you'll hear the story of when I made a zombie movie in high school, and a bunch of other stories, and
also
guest hosts.
Yeah, and you will have the opportunity to recommend or request movies we watch and discuss here on the free episodes.
Yes. Like we've done before, and what we're gonna do in the very near future, we're gonna do a movie called "Don't Let the Devil In." That's
right.
In the chat here, Laura Kinney actually suggested last week or the week before. Requested, right? But if you don't want to do that, if you feel that's too much of an engagement, all you have to do is subscribe to us here on YouTube. Like I said, check us out on Spotify, iTunes, all that
Thumbs
stuff.
up, 5 stars, comments, anything.
Follow.
Is greatly appreciated.
That's greatly appreciated.
Check out the link tree. You'll find a bunch of sites we're on where you can find anything of us, to be honest.
There are links down here. There is a link tree on the YouTube. There's links all over the place if you want to watch us, listen to us, or support us. But that's gonna have to be it for this time. Thank you all for hanging out, and we'll see you in the next one. But until then, have a good one. Bye.